All right. Looks like we got Tom MacDonald here. Me versus you. The screenshot that he shared yesterday looked like it was going to be something about, probably conservatives attacking liberals, but knowing Tom, I can almost guarantee you it's going to be them attacking each other and pointing out just the division sowed by the establishment at large, whoever that may be. But let's get in it.
Hate for making America great, and I'm the one who's trying to build back better. We ain't the same. Yeah, you're right. There's a difference. Y'all are woke and we're awake. What a joke. Does white privilege have something to say? Your president drove the country into the ground. The crime rate is through the roof. There ain't no jobs to be found. Inflation going up. My kids need food in their mouths. You put the fake news on.
Hey, have you guys seen that all of the leftist shills on Twitter and the Biden HQ sharing their lowered crime rates and how the crime rates are low, but the truth of the matter is that like at least like 40% of precincts aren't even reporting to the FBI, and they won't be until 2025, because apparently they changed the way they're supposed to report. And it's like LA, Oakland, San Francisco, New York, all the big cities where there's a lot of crime that isn't reporting. So they're like, oh, crime's down 34%. No, they know Trump's going to win, and they're going to start reporting in 2025 to make it look like Trump was the cause of the crime. But the difference is like we can see it and we can feel it, and they're reporting it, and it just doesn't match with what we're seeing happen in society. But the same's going to go for when Trump is back in office. Like, crime is going to go down, but they're going to reporting it's up, and like, what, it's going to be interesting. Anyway.
What a joke. Does white privilege have something to say? Your president drove the country into the ground. The crime rate is through the roof. There ain't no jobs to be found. Inflation going up. My kids need food in their mouths. You put the fake news on every TV screen in my house. Hold up. Your president a racist, homophobic. Tried to overthrow democracy and everybody knows it. He will never make America great again like the slogan. He a white supremacist, just like all of you who voted. That is not facts. All you woke morons do is talk trash. Drag queens and class.
It was so tired of the J6 trope, like, especially with recently the video of Nancy Pelosi in her car leaving the Capitol that day, saying it's basically her fault for not having extra security that Trump offered. And Trump, I think Trump approved the National Guard, and they declined the request. But Trump was like, no, you need more. Like, I think they offered him like 10,000 National Guard troops, and they're like, no, this is all planned. This is y'all have seen it. Like, if you're still falling for the mass media crap and the establishment politicians that are trying to take away like our actual freedom, not like our right to kill our own fucking children, like, you're just an idiot at this point. Like, you have to be dumb.
Hate anyone who's not black. You're pro-white, you know that's what the Klan members are, right? You're anti-LGBTQ, then why they always on your mind? Bro, you're a boy, you're a girl, stop playing stupid. You screwing up the youth, and all the children are our future. You don't care about the kids, look at all the school shootings. You're pro-gun, it's your fault, stop making those excuses. You think anyone who don't agree with you is just a bigot. You're a fascist, you're a Nazi. You just mad because you triggered. You're just jealous of the left because we're progressive and we're winning. Now I'm tripping that you won the election because you rigged it.
Red, white, and move with American
Trigger. You're just jealous of the left because we're progressive and we're winning. Now I'm tripping that you won the election because you rigged it. They put you on the left.
What do you guys think about that? Like, do you think the election was rigged? Like, is the evidence that you've seen overwhelming enough to know that it's definitely was at least tampered with? Especially now that this whole bullshit that they've convicted Trump on is supposedly because of election interference. The whole hush money payment was used to prevent the American people from knowing about the event which was essentially, they say, is defrauding the American people of the knowledge. Meanwhile, you got Hunter's laptop, that intelligence officials, these people that orchestrate coups around the world, around the globe, regime changes and wars, that they use our men and women to go fight and die for. These are the people that create those wars. These are the same people that said that the laptop was a hoax. And they say 17% of Biden voters would not have voted for Biden. And that's like 8 million votes, where Trump only lost by, I think it was like 47,000 or 80,000, something like that. It was rigged. And yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
On the right, they tell you what to hate, then they tell you who to fight till you're screaming, screaming. They put you on the right, they put you on the left, they tell you who to hate, they do anything to get you screaming.
Hey, this is exactly it. It's all about trying to get us separated and put into categories. What is it? Which song did Tom do? It's where he says, we'll divide us by race, religion, color, sex, all that. We'll buy up every box and divide us ourselves. It's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to get us on these little issues so that we can't agree on everything, like the totality of everything. And they've got this tribalism where you can't disagree with something. Like if you're on the right, you can't disagree with anything on the right, and if you're on the left, you definitely can't disagree with anything on the left, because then you're extreme far right if you disagree with anything on the left. But this is really what it's about. It's they keep our, it's not just having the people divided. They have our attention divided. They divide our attention to all these different causes rather than the main causes that we really need to pay attention to. And that's the power and strength of a tyrannical government that's growing and growing and growing. It's all about division and hate. You know, this, like he was screaming, they want to scream, and I hate you. One thing that I challenge everybody to do is to not use those two words together. You subconsciously do it, not realizing it, but like you're projecting hate out into the world when you say I hate. Like I hate anything, like I hate onions, and you don't realize you're teaching your children to hate, like even though it might be a minute little thing, but you're teaching your kid to say I hate, because your kid's going to hate something that they don't like the taste of, or they don't like the texture of. And they start saying, I hate this and I hate that. Next thing you know, it's I hate you, I hate them. And then you start projecting hate, or they try to use hate where they say they hate, you hate. I try not to associate hate to anybody else, or groups, because it's not true. And the easiest way to stop the hate and remove the hate is to just remove it and like start counting how much you say I hate something. Like I hate it when traffic is this bad, I hate this and I hate that. Try to take I hate out of your vocabulary, and you will be like, man, it's really hard, because you know, sometimes you're like, it feels kind of stupid to be like, oh, I don't like this, or I'm not a big fan of that. Like trying to come up with a different way of saying something other than I hate when you really don't like something, or you know, try it. Just see how much you catch yourself saying I hate something.
Screaming. My president draining the swamp, we building walls. Your president opened the border for one and all. Now there's murderers and criminals evading the law, walking right into America, our safety is gone. Well, my president ended pandemic, saved the economy, and introduced legislation fighting for our equality. His son smokes crack, I don't care about that honestly. He's raising all our wages, he can't raise his children properly. You obviously pro-life, a woman's choice is your right. I feel
like you guys do realize that like raising minimum wage is hurting the middle class and helping the rich and helping the state more than anything, right? Like one thing that a lot of people don't really pay attention to is like taxes and whatnot. The state especially a state like California that just jacked the minimum wage up to $20, your sales tax is going to go up with it, right? So if something was $10 before and it's $15 now, that 7 or 8% sales tax, instead of it being 70 cents on $10, it's going to be $1 on $15. So the state is actually benefiting from the inflated wages. And what happens is that the people that are in the middle class that have worked their way up to a higher wage, they're not getting a bump in wage because the minimum wage goes up. So like, let's say somebody's worked their way at a job to where they've gone from $15 an hour up to $21 an hour. Now all of a sudden, minimum wage gets bumped up to $20 an hour. That person's only making $1 over minimum wage while the cost of everything else goes up, but their wage isn't. Like, I don't know if you guys think about that, but like there's some really like ignorant people that think they know everything and they know nothing.
Like abortion is important and you don't like. You're treating it like birth control. You're treating them like your wife. I said that all lives matter and I also meant unborn life. You're so clever. Go ahead, make your little memes while we're bringing home the soldiers who were in the Middle East. Okay. Treating it like birth control. You're treating them like your wife. I said that all lives matter and I also meant unborn life. You obviously pro-life. A woman's choice is your right. I feel like abortion is important and you don't like. You're treating it like birth control.
How do you guys feel about abortion or the abortion, the right to kill your own child? Do you think it's a right? And at what point does that right stop? Is once the child's brought into the world, once it's born? And if that's the case, then you should fully agree that if somebody attacks you and kills your child pre-birth, then that's not any sort of murder. It's not even a violent crime, right? Because it's not a life, even though your child's supposed to be born tomorrow. My view on the abortion is I'm not a fan of it. Not a fan of it for myself or my family, but I can understand why people want to do it. But it's you're killing your own child. No matter what they say about a clump of cells, we're all a clump of cells even after birth. Life starts at conception. I just wish the activists, the abortion activists, the people that push it so hard would stop lying about it. Because the truth of the matter is that that's a new DNA sequence when that egg gets fertilized by the sperm. So it's a new life. It's in the mother's body. It's not the mother's body. Some people call it a parasite, which is kind of a disgusting way to view your offspring. But this is what the American education system is teaching kids. And it's pretty gross. I mean, there's a video of Kamala Harris out there who, if you ever see her on Twitter, like one of the only things she ever posts about is women's rights or medical freedom, women's medical whatever, but she's really talking about abortion. She's advocating for abortion. But there's a video clip of her where she's talking about when we can get like free clean energy, whatever, this and that, and then she says lower the population. Like, she means that. Like, there's a reason that she advocates so heavily for abortion. They want to lower the population, especially the American population, because we grow up in the system and we're supposed to learn our rights and learn the strength of the Constitution that keeps the government from having power over us. But this is a big reason for them letting illegal immigrants flood the United States, is they're trying to give them voting rights because they're not naturalized to the rights that the Constitution doesn't give it to us. It empowers us to keep the government from taking our rights. So when they bring in all these people that they want to turn into voters, they don't know this and they don't know how to fight this, and they're just going to vote for the party that wants to give them free stuff, and they're trying to usher in socialism under it. I forget what I'm talking about, so I'm going to go back to the video.
You're treating treating them like your wife. I said that all lives matter, and I also meant unborn life. You're so clever, go ahead, make your little memes while we're bringing home the soldiers who were in the Middle East. Okay, you brought the soldiers home, but then you burnt the flag and took a knee and left the men who fought for all our freedom homeless on the street. Build back better, there'll be violence and riots until you Bible thumpers learn to fall in line and trust the science. We ain't ever backing down from all you pedos and tyrants. The right is fighting the system, the left designed to divide us. And that is clown talk, all you got is mean tweets. It's free speech, call the cops, dog, you defunded the police. This country will be better off without all you freaks. This is America, homie, if you don't like it, you can leave. They put you on the left, they put you on the right. They tell you what to hate, then they tell you who to fight. Till you're screaming, screaming. They put you on the right, they put you on the left. They tell you who to hate, they do anything to get you screaming, screaming. No president will ever give a damn about the truth. It don't matter who's the winner, cause the people always lose. No president will ever break the system from inside. It's a deep state plan dividing us into sides. It don't
I'm going to have to disagree with Tom a little bit there. I mean, I think Trump has done a lot to break the system. And, you know, I don't, he hasn't done it. Some of it he's done directly, but a lot of what we're seeing is being done indirectly, because it's causing the system to expose itself, and it's caused so many people to kind of pay a little bit more attention to politics and pay attention to the lies that we're fed, and all of the new media that's popping up on or alternative news, whatever you want to call it, pundits, whatever, people that actually react to the news and read the news, give you their thoughts on it, rather than corporate media, which the corporate media is owned by the same people, the same corporations that own the politicians, own 99% of the politicians. I just saw one the other day where I think it was AOC. She was talking about how Trump didn't hire professionals, or isn't gonna hire professionals, which kind of shows you exactly the problem within our government, is that we have professional politicians. Our politicians shouldn't be professional politicians. They should be normal, regular people. But instead, these people, they go to law school to just make law. I mean, obviously they have to interpret laws, but they go through law school and then they're brought up through the system, and then they're in Congress or the Senate for 30, 40 years. I mean, look at Joe Biden. The dude has done nothing. The crime bill, whichever way you want to look at it, like, was there some racist aspects to it? Yes. But at the same time, what was the crime that was being created because of the crack and whatnot? But the sentences were obviously way too harsh. But a big part of the problem with that is what it done to the family unit, taking fathers out of homes, along with the welfare programs that take the fathers out of the home. You get a lot of boys that aren't raised with fathers, so they end up on the street, and they're raised by other children. They're raised by kids that, think that they need to be selling drugs and gangbanging. Same with the school system. If you're not raising your children, the kids at school are raising your kids, because that's where they're at most of their life.
If you're left, right, black, white, red, blue, conservative or liberal, rich, poor, me, you, Republican or Democrat, old, young, mean, cool, they promise us our freedom, but then all we get is free doom. They put you on the left, they put you on the right. They tell you what to hate, then they tell you who to fight. Till you're screaming, Republican or Democrat, old, young, mean, cool, they promise us our president will ever break the system from inside. It's a deep state plan dividing us into sides. It don't matter if you're left, right, black, white, red, blue, conservative or liberal, rich, poor, me, you, Republican or Democrat, old, young, mean, cool, they promise us our freedom, but then all we get is free doom. They put you on the left, they put you on the right. They tell you what to hate, then they tell you who to fight. Till you're screaming, screaming. They put you on the right, they put you on the left. They tell you who to hate, they do anything to get you screaming, screaming.
Shout out. Oh, it says you mentioned Nova on here. Wow, I let this video go 20 minutes, man. I really ranted.
If you're a
didn't I?
woman who owns a business, then you need a virtual assistant.
You need a virtual assistant. Man, I hope you guys did mind my ranting here. Overall, I like the video, though. I'll have to watch it a couple more times to get more of it, but it was pretty self-explanatory. I mean, it's really pointing out the division and the intentions of the division in the country. I wish I could make this damn screen recorder bigger. Maybe it's closer. Yeah, I'm a weirdo. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if there's anything else you guys want me to check out. Later.